Yo, what up guys? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys another DVD slash Blu-ray slash 4K update. I think I have a lone DVD this time, so as I said in the last update, I don't really buy a lot of DVDs anymore, and this specific DVD was like, I was bullied into buying. So anyway, with that said, let's just jump into it. We got a lot of titles to go through. They're not in like any particular order. I got 4K and Blu-ray mixed all together. But yeah, so with that said, first up here is this box set that I picked up. It was on sale on Amazon. I don't know if it was like Prime Day or something like that, but I can't remember what I paid for it, but it was a lot cheaper than it was originally announced at, and that is this Paramount Scares box set. I think this box set is really cool. They just announced a Volume 2 recently as well. It's such a weird, like, variety of movies. So, it comes with this, like, Fangoria magazine, which is, I guess, like, reprinted articles from some of the films that are in this box set, and it comes with like a collectible pin and some stickers, so you can see some of the stickers right here on this little thing. I believe the pin is behind there, and then each of the movies has their own sort of artwork and slipcover. They are individually housed in their own cases. So this is Rosemary's Baby. I will not go through each of the titles just because that's kind of a pain, but I will tell you the titles, and it is Rosemary's Baby, Pet Sematary 1989, Crawl 2019, Smile 2022, and Sweeney Todd the Demon of Barber of Fleet Street from 2007, the Tim Burton one. Yeah, so a pretty weird array of movies. You have one from the 60s, one from the 80s, and then a couple of modern titles. I think I only owned Pet Sematary on 4K, maybe Rosemary's Baby too. So I really didn't need this box set, but I just thought it looked cool, and the second volume has Friday the 13th Part 2 in it on 4K, which as of right now, that's the only way to get Friday the 13th Part 2 on 4K. Although I do believe that they will probably release a standard edition of that as well. But the price was right on that, and even though I own two of the films, I think I paid like around $40 for it. So, you know, 12, 13 bucks for the other three that I didn't own on 4K. So, yeah, that's the first thing, that box set. I thought it was a pretty cool set, although, you know, kind of weird. But it reminded me of like some of the old school sets, like this one right here, actually, since I have it here. The Campy Classics set from Anchor Bay. Except for these are more cult films and those are more like mainstream. But, you know, just 6 random movies. This one has 5 random movies. Pretty interesting. Alright, so let's move on to the lone DVD. And that is Everyone Must Die, which I paid a whopping $5 for at Grossfest Horror Convention. So, yeah. This is, I believe, if not like his first film, one of his first films. Steve Rudzinski, a local Pittsburgh filmmaker, which is, I've seen at least one of his films now, and he's pretty talented for an indie guy. You know, even for not an indie guy, like I'm sure if he had a major budget, he would do a good job. But I like his style. His movies are kind of funny. He recently won Best Amityville film last year during the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards. So he is a Fangoria Award winner. But yeah, this I think is like sort of like a slasher film. Tim Gross of Grossfest made me buy this off of him, so that's why I have it. Next up we have Night of the Seagulls, which has not been opened, though I just recently watched. Actually, you know what? I found my Night of the Seagulls. So I just realized this. I own Night of the Seagulls. Like, this is not new. I did not. This was probably in an old update. A month or two ago, we were recording a 22 Shots episode on the Blind Dead films, and I could not find my copy of Night of the Seagulls. Well, the reason I turned out I couldn't find it because it was in all my new stuff, apparently. So this is not part of the update, but now I found my Night of the Seagulls, I guess. So I had to watch it on like Tubi or something. So yeah, that's where it was. Not sure how it got mixed up in there, but whatever. Okay, next up here is a Christmas movie, Christmas horror. We have I'm Dreaming of a White Doomsday. This movie I have not watched yet. It's signed here by the director. I met this guy at Creature Feature Weekend in Gettysburg, and he sold me on his movie, so you know I bought it off of him. Plus, I like Christmas, and you know this is kind of seems post-apocalyptic. I think that's what he told me. So, pretty interesting concept to do like a Christmas horror film in a post-apocalyptic setting. I don't think it's been done before. After that, we have Night Swim. I have not watched this yet. This was one of the first horror films that came out this year. I think it came out in January. And it looks kind of stupid. It's Blumhouse, but, you know, I figured why not. After that, we have a Criterion. I did pick up 2 Criterions during their last sale. Not really a big Criterion collector, although now, it's funny, I mentioned this on the podcast too, but before, obviously Criterions were always really expensive, $40 new. But they always had their 50% off sale where you could get them for $20 each. Which, when I started, at least I participated in those first sales that I remember, $20 was like still a lot. But now, actually, $20 is kind of a deal on like a premium edition title at this point, because most stuff is over $20 now. So now it's actually one of the cheaper sales. But I did grab Peeping Tom. I should pick up some more Criterions now that the market is kind of inflated, you know, and Criterions are actually $20 is not too bad for a movie these days. Peeping Tom, this is one that needed a release forever. Criterion finally put it out on Blu-ray. And yeah, it's a good movie. I've seen it one time, and I liked it. You know, it's sort of known for being one of the first like slasher films, or a proto-slasher. Shout out to Moods, he loves proto-slashers. But yeah, Peeping Tom, pretty cool movie. I'm excited to revisit that one. And the other Criterion that I picked up was Targets, which this is another title that I wanted released for a really long time. Came out in 1968. Pretty interesting movie, and even more so with like today's times. But I think Boris Karloff's in this one, and yeah, it did make I think it made my top 10 of 1968, or at least it should have. So I've always wanted to pick it up on disc. I haven't watched it since we prepped for that show like almost 10 years ago at this point. Okay, after that we have a 4K of Piranha from Scream Factory. I actually only owned this film on DVD, so I didn't feel too bad upgrading. We recently covered the Piranha films on 22 Shots, so that was the primary reason for picking it up. Really good transfer and good movie. I actually like the whole series. I think the Piranha movies are fun, especially the 2 remakes, the 3D ones. Not actually. There are 2 remakes, but I'm talking about the Piranha 3D and Double D, not Piranha 1995. After that, we have Swamp Woman, which I think I picked up at Gross Fest as well. This is a Sean Donahue film. He was at Gross Fest, so it's one of his newest films, I believe. Sean Donahue, I've only seen like one of his movies, but he's sort of a pretty popular indie director. and he makes a lot of stuff. So curious to check this one out. After that, we have this. I just actually got in the mail today. Just released like today, I think, actually. And that is Friday the 13th, 2009. Arrow put this out on 4K. And I, believe it or not, was actually really happy about this because this film really didn't get a lot of love on disc. It came out through the Killer Cut edition, which had, like, I guess the unrated cut and like a couple deleted scenes or something. I don't even think it had a commentary track or anything, and that always bothered me. So this one has a brand new commentary with the writers of the film, and then a bunch of special features. So Friday the 13th 09 is kind of one of those films that it's at the bottom of the franchise for me, but it's still pretty good. I think it's a good movie. There's just some stuff in it that kind of bugs me a little bit for being like a big fan, but I haven't watched it in a few years, so I was thinking next Friday the 13th, which I think is in December, I will include this one in whatever watching I do on Friday the 13th. So yeah, pretty excited, happy that it got a 4K. I think that's pretty cool. After that, we have Jaws 2 on 4K. Picked this one up for like $11 or something like that on Amazon. I was on sale. Figured I would give it a pickup. Big fan of the first Jaws. Jaws 2 I like. It's not the best, you know. It's a little slow. It's kind of long, but it's fun. I remember watching it on TV as a kid. After that, we have Piranha 2: The Spawning. I spent way too much money on this. I think I paid like $25 for this, which was just like so annoying to me because it's such an older release from Scream Factory. But I figured it would probably be going out of print maybe soon. But then again, I think it is a Corman title, so usually I think they actually own a lot of those films. But this one's kind of fun. It's actually a lot more gory, which is pretty cool, but it's a bit messy too. Overpriced, but I kind of wanted it because we were covering them on the show, and I just didn't own it in any way, and I was like, why the hell not? After that, we have Tombs of the Blind Dead, which I didn't get in time for. This was like $30 on Amazon. I didn't want to spend the $30, but I did spend $24 on Piranha 2: The Spawning, but this is a much better movie. But it eventually dropped to $20, and I did pull the trigger on it. Actually, this is not a 4K. I'm stupid. It is just in a black case, so I assumed it was 4K. But the transfer is still pretty good, because I did watch the newest transfer on streaming. After that, we have this one I picked up forever ago, and I guess I never did an update since then, but that is Baxter, another title that we covered on the podcast last season, I believe, and I totally didn't get it in the mail in time to actually watch this copy, so that's why it's still sealed, and I watched it on streaming. But that's a good movie. It's like kind of art housey a little bit too, but this is a Scorpion Kino release. It's good. If you've never seen it, check it out. We covered that with the Killer Dog episode. And then after that, I got this VCI release here of Bloody 70s Horror double feature. We got Mary Mary, Bloody Mary, and Blood Feast, or like, I think, what is it called? Like the Night of the Thousand Cats or something like that. But I think these are Spanish films. I recently watched Mary Mary, Bloody Mary. It was alright. This Blood Feast movie, I think, is cut. Like, it is a chopped up, like, version. I think that somebody's releasing a actual good version soon. But, yeah, I picked this up because we were supposed to cover Blood Feast on 22 Shots for the Killer Cats episode, but we ended up swapping it out with Strays. So, we did not do that, but I picked it up anyway. After that, we got some Kinos. We got The Land Unknown. I believe these were all gifts from Carly for my birthday. I guess it has been quite a while since I've done an update because that was back in like April. So it's been a while. But yeah, this, Kino's sales are the best, dude, because you get movies for like $10 on Blu-ray, nice editions. It's really cool. I love Kino sales. But The Land Unknown, I may have seen this before, 1957. I can't really remember, but yeah. After that, we have Billy the Kid versus Dracula from 1966. I have no clue what this is about. I assume Billy the Kid is facing off against Dracula, but that's just a guess. So yeah, pretty cool. You know, the thing about Kino too is like, I'm much more willing to just like blind buy on Kino because their sales, because they're $10. You know, like if it sucks, it was only $10. What's the harm? You know, it's the same as going to see a movie at a theater, but you own it and you can watch it again for whatever reason. After that, we have the Antichrist. I'm pretty sure I have seen this one before. This is 1974. Oh yeah, Alberto Di Martino directed this one, so I do believe I've seen this one. It's pretty decent. After that, we have The Mad Doctor from 1940. Just another Kino film, classic film there that I wanted to pick up and check out. After that, we have Dinosaurs, another Kino here, 1960 on this one as well. Was this one 1960? No, 40. I'm an idiot. Sorry. I've seen this film before. It's okay. I like 50s movies though. They're fun. After that, we have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This is the 1920 version, which I don't think I've ever seen. John Barrymore is in this one, but I do like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. All the versions that I've seen pretty much, so probably check that one out. After that, this is a title that I wanted to pick up for a long time, but just never have. That is The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which is a great movie. 1920 as well on this one. So, yeah, I've seen this before. I think it's awesome. There's movies, like, sometimes with, like, old movies, like, pre-50s, like, even, like, the popular ones, although, like, I like them, like, something like Phantom of the Opera, it's not, like, you know, mind-blowing or anything. But there are a few that I actually think are genuinely, like, fantastic and not just fantastic for the time. Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is one of those. Also, 1911's Dante's Inferno and The Phantom Carriage and Nosferatu. I think those are some of the better silent films or films of that era. After that, we have, what the hell is this? The Light at the Edge of the World, which is 1971. Again, looks like some more sci-fi stuff, which is cool in my book. After that, we have The Flesh and the Fiends with Peter Cushing. Good old Pete Cushing. 1960. It got Pete Cushing in it, so I'm sure it's at least half decent. After that, we have the Hound of Baskerville. This is, I believe, Sherlock Holmes. It's a Sherlock Holmes movie, which I know very, very, very little about. 1978 on this one. 1978. After that, we have Picture Mommy Dead from the year 1966. I don't know anything about this one, but the title's cool. After that, we have The Bride Wore Black from the year 1968, which I must have missed during 1968 prep because I don't think I watched this one. But back then, I really didn't watch a whole lot either. After that, we have some Warner Archive. We have The Devil Doll, which is a pretty cool movie, honestly. Did make my top 10 of 1930, was it 1936, I think? Yeah, 1936. Good movie, one of the better ones of 1936. After that, we have Superfly. Little blaxploitation here, which is pretty cool. Probably the set, 1972 on this one. Don't think I've seen this one, but I do like some blaxploitation films. Another damn Lionel Barrymore film, and that is Mark of the Vampire from the year 1935. So another Lionel Barrymore movie. And I love Warner Archive, by the way. Another company that the titles are really cheap to pick up once they go on sale. King Kong, one of my all-time favorite movies, just fantastic. This is another example of one of those old movies that are mind-blowing. So King Kong is the shit. After that, I have no clue what this one is, but it just looks wild. It is The Boy with the Green Hair, green-haired boy. Probably radioactive. After that, we got Boris Karloff in Isle of the Dead. I think I may have seen this one before, 1945. It sounds familiar. After that, we have Joe's Apartment, which is not a horror film, but it is a weird film. It is, I believe, like MTV's first movie or something like that. But yeah, this is it's just a weird movie. It's about these cockroaches that live in this dude's apartment and they sing and stuff. 1996. I recently watched this last year on Monster Vision, episode that was on YouTube, just because I remembered watching it as when it came out, but it's been so long. After that, we have Dr. X, another Warner Archive here. Never seen that one. But I love going through some of these Warner Archives and Kinos during October. It's just feels like the perfect time for it. After that, we have Tex Avery's Screwball Collection, Volume 1. Good old Droopy D on the cover. I'm a big fan of animated films that I watched when I was a kid, and these are all old as hell, 1941. So yeah, I mean, way before I was born. But I watched this stuff when I was a kid, so I've always been a big fan of that stuff. After that, we have the 1932 version of Dr. Jekyll and Mr Hyde, which I've not seen this, or I think I have seen this one, but it's been a while. After that, we have a film, Alfred Hitchcock's Stage Fright, which I've never seen, but it's a Hitchcock film, 1950. Never seen it, but you can't really pass up Hitchcock, And finally, for the Warner Archives, at least I believe so, we have Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, which I actually saw on the big screen one time. It's pretty fun 1950s movie, and it's kind of iconic too. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Alright, after that, what do we have here? We have Cinematograph from Vinegar Syndrome. We have Going South, number 827 out of 6,000. I don't even know if you can see that. But yeah, that is